Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be focusing on stitching into my crocus and working out exactly what I'm going to do with colours. Last episode I did the painting but also started stitching in the little centres of these two. So today is going to be working out how we're going to do our flowers. Now I'd like to do a little bit of weaving, or will we do satin stitch? That's the big decisions. So I'm thinking of using this pearl cotton here. I would say it's a number 8. It's from the op shop, so it's a remnant. There's little stains on it, little remnant. Let's give it a home. My tablecloth, of course, is someone else's work that never got finished. If you can see, I'll just come up a little bit. For those that are new, that's someone else's work that never was completed. So I've come in and added and stitched, and that's quite thick. I don't know, my needle may not, the eye of my needle may not be, oh no, we're in, that's all good. Now, I need to get my hoop. In the last video, I was doing this work and I didn't have my hoop, but I didn't think I needed it. Hang on 1 second. Better grab it because it wasn't stitching that was tight, so I got away with it, but this is a little bit different. So I think when I painted it, my thought was that I would probably leave the tops of the flat petals. There's no beads there I'm working on, pushing away there. I was just concerned that over here was some beads that I was trying to... I've got Susanna texting me at the moment. We're yibber-yabbering first thing in the morning. So she's probably going to say, "Yeah, for a chat." I'll have to say, "No, I'm filming." It's funny. Sometimes we start chatting and we're watching each other's videos, but it's really bizarre that you're watching someone. Yeah, okay. So I like the white. I'm going to stay away from the top, I think. But I want it quite... I think it would do weaving. I'm a big fan of weaving, if you hadn't guessed by now, guys. So let's lay down our stitches with a little gap between each one. Usually a needle width. It can be closer, you don't have to, but it does give you a bit of room for your weave to be seen. If it's closer, your up and down weaving motion that you're doing is just a little harder to define. Be my only comment that I've noticed. See, at this point here, I could change thread colours as well. So I could have a second colour weave through. Nearly looks like another petal on top of the petal. And being in a hoop, it sort of keeps it taut. Now, it's a bit too loose, so before I go too much further, I need to tension up that surface because I'm going to end up in a puckery mess. You know the girl doesn't like puckery messes. So let's redo this hoop and get it nice and tight. Then I know my weaving will sit. Yeah, see, that was loose. That was a half attempt. What did Susanna say back to me? She wanted to have a chat. Nope, she's good. Let's get this. there's my stitches. That's a little bit gappy, but that'll come in when I start weaving. So at this point, we can decide to either stay with what we've got, or I spotted this when I walked to my desk. Like, I'd love to play with it, but I think it'll make it look a bit grungy and patchy. I don't know why it caught my eye. Let's put that away. That was probably a silly idea. I think I'll stay with the plain colour because they're very solid coloured plants. Maybe I use that grey. It's not grey. It's like a... Maybe I'll stitch down in here with it. For some reason it caught my eye. So I'm just going to leave it there. Let's go do a little bit of weaving. So what I do then is the next decision. This is for the newbies. The rest of you will be stitching away, just listening, I'm sure. Is I'm going to decide, do I want my weaving stitch to come up like that? Do I want it to be more of an angle? Which I'm thinking I will. Now, you can start wherever you like. Sometimes I start in the middle and then work in one direction. See, there's a little stain coming through on my thread. I'll leave it there because I'm okay with that. Anchor it down. And that sets the tone. So then come back up next to it. Now I could go north or south of that stitch. I wonder if I've zoomed in enough for the newbies. Get a lot of questions from people who've just found our world of slow stitching and embroidery and collaging and oh my goodness. And it just must be so exciting to have that feeling of what is this? You take for granted that everyone knows our world, but they don't. I notice it even when I'm chatting to my friends. They're like, oh, what do? You do what? That's something my grandma used to do. Is fancy work. It's like, yeah. We're doing it for our sanity. I love it when I can convert someone, bring them over to the fold. It's really cool, especially when they're young people, you know. Oh my gosh, it's like the start of something big for them. There probably will come a time when they'll put the needle down and we just won't have time because they start careers and all of that. But that's okay. We've planted the seed and one day they'll return. There's definitely a lot of newbies out there that have got to retirement and then they've gone, wow, I've always seen people do that stitching stuff. Maybe I'll have a go. How exciting to have an adventure like that in front of you. That's why I usually say in my comments when I reply to people that make it known to me that they are new, I always say enjoy the journey. Enjoy your stitching journey, something along those lines, because it is a journey. We're all on that journey because you'll see something different, new, a variation of the same. Like the stitches have been around forever. We're not inventing anything. It's just different twists. And I find now there's more freedom to what we do. When I was a kid, Grandma probably would have questioned what I do now, but knowing Grandma, she would have been exhilarated by it as well. Having done the same stitches on the same doilies for so long and then a crocheted little edge, she would be like paint, fabric, all going into the project. That would have really, she would have, oh gosh, I wish she was still here and seeing this new. So now I'm at the bottom. So I go back up here and then away we go again. Another thing you can consider doing is leave that unwoven so you get a different look again. Sort of don't mind that. I don't, oh goodness me, keep pushing the needle through, and then as my hand passes back out from behind the hoop, I'm pulling it out. So now that I'm back above that first line, what did I do? I need to go over, under, give it a little push down just to make everything nice and firm, and then anchor your stitch. And then come back up just a little bit above it. And we need to go under, over. See, if you have a gap, see, remember those two were a bit spaced, these have got a bit tight. Makes it easier when you're doing your weaving because you can clearly see your next stitch that you're going over and under with. So make it easy on yourself and give yourself a little bit of room. So now we're going under, over, under, over. There we go. Don't mind that not being woven. Do one more. I usually would, you know, weave it all. But I sort of like that. It's caught my eye. I think it's because this thread has a shine to it. It's a very pearlized. So it actually looks pretty, just the strokes. I think I'm going to be brave and not weave it all. Something different. I love how the lights caught that. Yeah, I like that. So it's a combination of woven and unwoven. Let's just leave it. I guess if it bugs me, I can always come back and weave in there, but I'm thinking that I'm going to like that. That then allows me to do some straight stitches elsewhere. And potentially, so that needs green on it. Look, I need to come back. I hadn't noticed that. Need a little bit of green. Does that stem even have somewhere to go? Well, let's assume it's hidden in behind there. It doesn't, does it? Look at that. It's in no man's land. It's all good. It can be hidden. I'm wondering if I can just do some straight stitches into the throat here. Let's have a play with that. Get a bit of colour down in there. Just some long stitches. Yeah, I like that. Don't pull so hard, girl. You've just made a little hole there. Just back that up a bit. Yeah, I like that. Just a few little white, long, short stitches down into the throat of that flower. Just puts a bit of shine down in there. Okay, so that's a plan. So I'll do that there. I'll do this combination, I think, here as well. And there. Now, let's have a play with that thread. I sort of feel like it's calling me a little. Still got a bit of thread here in the white left, so maybe I might finish this off. That's not a proper knot, girl. Let's do that again. That's better. I got a little bit of thread, so I might just dodge to the other little flower there, and we'll get those stitches done into the center here. So as you know, I film a little bit ahead, so it's Sunday for me. Marginally ahead. No, I'm a week, usually about a week ahead. Got nothing major planned. I feel like a quiet day today. You know when you've been racing around like a mad chook all week. You just want a day where you don't have anything planned. I think I need that today. Just chillax. I go for a walk. Yeah, I like that little flush of pearly white coming out of the centre of these flowers. Running out of thread. Probably could get one more stitch. Okay. Yep, I really like that. I hope I've been in camera. When I zoom in like that, and I don't do it a lot, you run the risk of losing your screen. So I do apologise. Like I said, go and do a tutorial, type in some of these stitches and just go and watch the professionals do it, because there'll be little things that you'll pick up that I won't verbalise and just do through instinct. So it's not really teaching you. Oh, this needle I think is barely suitable for this cotton. There we go. Let's have a play with this. It's a sort of a grey, creamy. Just feel like we could use it down here as a bit of shadowing. It's barely going to be noticed, but I think it'll just make those flowers feel like they're connecting a little bit to the green. It's a tiny detail, barely noticeable. I want to put some paint in there, won't I? Completely missed it. A couple videos in and I haven't even noticed. I think this too could also be stitched into the centre of those flowers, because it's probably going to show a shadow in the flower. But I really like, yeah, don't know. Do I even try to get a little bit in there? I think, no, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to come over to this guy, this bud. Actually, you know, I might use it up here at the top. Yeah, that's where it can pop up again. It'll show that that's all tight and dark as where the bud's yet to throw out those petals. And if I come down onto that stem a little bit, that eases it into the green. Gosh, are you even on camera, girl? Ah, it's a professional rig, this one. Let's take this thread colour up to the top and do a little bit of stitching in here, especially this little bit. Maybe just a little satin stitch just to show that there's something going on. It won't do the outer petals because that's light bouncing around out there. Just there. Tiny. Probably not even worth the effort, but hey, we've had fun. I know it's there. I'll be looking at this piece in 100 years' time and I'll go, oh, look at that. A tiny little detail. Wasn't she so thorough? Let's get this little guy. You're probably thinking, 100 years? Look, I'm going to live forever. They keep curing us of all these unusual diseases that have taken out our forefathers. And then you see a news story pop up. We're on the brink of solving this. We're on the brink of solving that. I'm like, yeah. Well, there's another 50 years added to my life. Won't be getting that disease. It's incredible what they're doing. And that's the stuff they're telling us, you know. There'll be other stuff that they've come across and they haven't yet told us, so. Alrighty, there's a little morsel stitched in there. Small little detail. Oh, I need to take that out of the hoop. It's just a little bit too close. I might zoom out. I feel like I'm right up on you. Let's get, I can hear Fudgy snoring. Oh, he's so cute. Okay. Now it's come unthreaded. Of course it has. Just to waste more time. The sneaky knot works for a lot of threads, but this is just a little bit too thick to be popping a knot at the end of a needle to stop it becoming unthreaded. Wonder if that's enough thread. How miserly can we be? Let's give it a go. And get a few, I won't put it back in the hoop because I think I could get a few little stitches in here. If I hold that between there and tension it, don't come out. Might be a bit miserly. If I come up at the bottom, nope, that didn't work. Try and save thread a little. So you can do this type of stitching when you don't have the hoop. When you're in a hoop, you sort of need to go up, down, up, down. When it's in your hand, it's so much quicker. But you run the risk if you're, I guess, a tight with your stitches, you'll have a mess too. And usually when we're sewing like this, we've got a few layers, so the fabric is stable. But I wouldn't recommend it if you're stitching onto a vintage doily. Put it into a hoop. Your work will be a lot better. We pulled it off. Just a little hint of that dirty grey cream. All right, let's get back into the hoop. And we might do that little bit. I might, yeah, and then there. So there is more I can do. Let's just get ourselves beads. Beads are not your friend when you're trying to use a hoop. Can you hear him snoring? Oh, a little poppet. Okay, let's finish the base. Of this other flower over here, just a little bit. That's what we want. Then I'll jump across to that main one and do a little bit here. Then I'm wondering if I can quickly jump up and dampen a paintbrush. I think there's one sitting over near my sink. To remember what colours I used. Didn't I use that fresh greeny colour and didn't like it? So then went and added a pencil. I think that's what I did. So I might just jump up and grab that paintbrush. A little bit of water and get that stem in as well. How are we going for time? Oh, we got heaps of time. So we're going to do a little bit of painting, it would seem. Yeah, if I remember rightly, it was really fresh green and I didn't like it. So I came back with a warmer green Inktense pencil just to push it back a little bit. Probably should get paper towels here. It's a palaver. You go from stitching to painting and suddenly you got a hang of a mess. All right, so that's my 2 thread colours. Keep them to one side, girl. That'll finish all of the stitching, and it's going to be a combination of half woven. So that, yeah, that looks cool. I might pause the video. What are we in? We're about 26 minutes in. I might pause the video because I also want to find my white beads. All right, I'll be seeing you in a second. Back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Now I've got some beads to one side of me and I've got water and paint to the other side of me. I think I decided I'd leave it in the hoop and just gently come in. Now it was a gouache paint. It was this guy here, which I did tone down with another green from memory. So I'm going to just sort of pick up the two. I only need the tiniest bit just in here, like that, simple as that. And put paintbrush away. Then I came back, there's my needle. Then I came back with this and just warmed it up a little bit, like that. Then I went in with the water and just allowed that to bleed out a little bit. That's it. All right, put water away, girl, before you make a mess. Okay, all of a minute. That's good. Now I can get back stitching. So I still have a little bit of this on my needle. I might just, gosh, I'm breaking all the rules. I usually let that dry a day, but I'm not. I'm going to very carefully stitch just above that moist area on the fabric. Gosh, I hope it doesn't bleed up into it. Breaking all the rules. Look away now. Let it dry before you come back and add your needles and threads. There we go. Knot it off. So I'm caught up. Can't believe I missed that little morsel of a stem, but we got it now. Right. Stay away from that area. Now, I grabbed 2 different whites. This one's a pearl, and this is white. Yeah, see, white's not it. It's because this is pearly. No, has to be this guy. So, now I need Reg. Where are you, Reg? My fine little needle. There he is. He needs some thread. Going to use these little beads. Don't ask me the size of these beads. I never remember. Makes it hard to reorder, let me tell you, because I'm like, well, if I'd remember the sizes of things. but they're tiny. So sneaky knot so that reg stays attached to the cotton right at the top of the eye. And reg is not going anywhere. Gotcha. Now we can get our little knot down here. Nope, that didn't hold. Did that hold? Barely. Need a decent knot because the weave on this is thick. Okay, let's have a little look at what we can do with the... Why is that all foggy? Oh my goodness, low mode. So if you're wondering why the camera went all funny there, it's because the words low power came up. I didn't press stop. I took it off the stand thinking I wasn't filming, but I was, but the camera went all wobbly. So that's probably shocking viewing about there, but we're back. So what am I going to do here? I think if that's the worst that happened today in this video, I made the camera wobble as it come off the stand and back onto the stand, and the battery will probably go flat on me. What could have happened was water spilt everywhere, but it didn't. I might anchor little beads in here and that base. And then the weaving sort of comes out from that. Is what I'm thinking. Might put 3 on the needle, 4 on the needle, and do that. See, I don't want to make it too bulky either because they are dainty. So I might just leave it at that. I feel like I could do one more. Of course I do. Let's do 2 more. Can't believe I just wobbled the camera. Oh my goodness. So when I've hopped back up, well, when I've come back to the table after getting rid of that water, I looked at the screen and it was all foggy. And I could sort of see there was a message on the screen. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I didn't film the painting of that. And then I realised, oh, I better check. So I've taken it off the stand, hence why it suddenly went wobbly to you guys. And there was the low power. So I'm really not sure how much battery I've got left. I should be very careful about now. So if the video suddenly stops, you know the girl run out of battery power. But that's all good. So let's have another look. I sort of feel like I could sneak some beads in along those edges there, there and there. So let's just anchor the thread up here with a couple little stitches. Now we'll thread onto the needle, I don't know, maybe 6. Two, 4, 6, 7. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. So we just need to get it reasonably taut. I'll leave the little black line showing from the bottom, because that's a little detail there that also helps bring up the story that we are putting a line of beads in. Now I'm just going to slither my way right through them again. That's the second stitch. So then I'm going to come up again. I'm going to slide through 2. There's lots of different ways of doing this when you're securing a line of beads. But this will do because it's not a piece of clothing. So then you go down. If it was clothing, say a wedding dress, you'd really want to make sure these were secure. Then I'm going to come up on the other side of where I just went down, slither in again, another 2, come out, go back down on that one side, come back up, going to go through again, but I'll go right through to last one from the bottom, go in, anchor it. See, they're not moving. If they're still wriggling for you, go back and do a few more stitches. And then another technique that you can use is then go back up and couch down the thread that's running through the beads, like so, every second one. And then you'll know that your line of beads really is not going anywhere. I guess if it was going onto clothing, you probably would want to invest a little extra time into making your beads stay put. There we go. Well, I might toddle off. A bit shorter video today. I'm a little bit nervous that the battery might go on the iPad and suddenly it'll all go dark. So the girl wants to stay in control a little, even though she's taken you off the stand and wriggled it everywhere. So what I might do is I'll put in the rest of those lines. I might even bring some more in there. We'll see how it goes. I'll have a play with these guys, and yeah, that's great. It's going to give me something to stitch. I might even put a little bit of this in there. Let's have a little look. I feel like I need to soften those beads. Let's just have a quick play. If it goes black, you know, that's it. So I might say goodbye, but I'm going to keep stitching. It's probably down to 3%. Let's just do a couple little stitches either side. See if that, yeah, I like that. Just a little extra detail there. Bit of shadowing. I think I'm going to lose my black line. It's like the edge of that petal. There we go. Done. All right, guys. I will now say goodbye. Get this video uploaded. And see you all in the next video. I think that's all I needed, wasn't there? Iron that. No, we're finished with this. So I can pop him away. Great. That, and that. Awesome. All right, guys, I will catch you next week and we'll work on this guy down here. So, yeah, lovely. All right, see you later. Have a great day, guys. Bye.